Hey everybody, Ms.V here. I am in my old community that I grew up in. So I'm gonna take y'all on a little tour. I've been promising y'all I was gonna let you see my humble beginnings. So if I don't back out and hit this car behind me, we're gonna take a little tour. So you can see where I grew up. This is it. It's called Richwood. When I grew up here, it was just country. I told you I was a country girl. It is now a town, okay? So let's just take a little tour of where Ms.V grew up. All right? Okay. It's called Richwood, and as you can see, it's rich in woods. Yeah. Let's take, this is Richwood. No, they renamed it. It's Martin Luther King Drive. Now it was Richwood Road when I lived here. Okay. So, I told you I grew up on a 120-acre farm. So let's take a look at it. It's still here. Yeah. As you can see, it's been raining. Let me turn the windshield wipers off if I can. It's just raining in spurts. A little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit everywhere. So where I was is where the building I just left. I stopped by to see my nephew, who is the mayor, and he was in an insurance meeting. So I'm gonna take y'all on a little tour, and we're gonna come back by his office so I can holler at him before I leave up out of here. Okay, so we're going down this little narrow road. All of this property right there, as far down as you can see, is the Brown estate. Okay, so that's me and my nephew now, and my oldest brother. The three of us own all of this. Okay, on this side that I'm showing you, on the opposite side, we do not own this. So this is a part of what is now 100 acres. Okay, when my father owned it, it was 120. Okay. That would have been my grandfather, not my father. My grandfather owned it. It was 120. My father owned it. It was 100 that was left to divide between the three of us. Okay. As far down as we can go. Then we're gonna flip to the other side and keep in mind, okay, starting right here on this side, we also own this all the way down, and you can see it's woodland. It's never been cleared. My father actually farmed all of this when he was alive, and it has grown up like this. My father left in '94, and it has become a wilderness. But it doesn't matter. For as long as you own the property, you can make some money. Now, right here, a guy has been leasing the property. That's why it's cleared in that little area right there. Right here is where my father was born, where these trees are. This ends the property on this side right here. Okay, where this little trail goes through there. But we still own all of this on this side. Okay. All the way down. And this is going to be as far as we can go, but the property does not end here. In this plot that you see just ahead with all the trees, it's 58 acres in there. In one plot. It goes all the way out to, I think, Nutland Road is the name of the road. All the way as far as you can see. That's 58 acres. Okay? And what you saw when you first came in on the other side was 14 acres. Now we're going to turn around and we're going to go down the street that was named for my grandfather. Brown Road. Okay? All right. We're gonna go down Brown Road, and you can see where I was born and raised. Okay. Now, I don't know if I'll ever do anything with this, but maybe the children, my child and his children, and my brother that just passed, his son, might do something with it in their lifetime. I'm just gonna kind of, you know, sign the paper and deed it on. That's what I'm doing. Okay. All right. It stops right here on this side, like I told you before, but we still rolling on this side all the way down almost to the corner. Okay, this should be 14 plus 7, what is that, 21 acres in here. Okay, and it's going to stop right here. Okay, that trailer, it stops it. We don't own that. From here to the corner, we do not own. Okay, then no, that's not true. We pick up again right here where it's wilderness. That was my brother's house when he lived out here. He had a house back there. It burned down, so you can't even see it anymore. And this belonged to the Fosters up on the corner right here. All right, do you see the sign that says Brown Road? I don't know if you can see it or not. You can see it even better on the other end of the street. Okay, so let's go down Brown Road. This was the street that I used to run up and down and play on, right here. Okay, the first house that we get to is going to be my oldest brother's house. I told you we are far apart in age. He lives here at this house, and he's 82 years old. That's Miss Carver's friend. Yep, he don't look like he at home. Okay, and this is the house that I grew up in. I told you it was a red brick home. This is the house, and it's still in the family. My nephew lives in this house. That was my mother and father's home. I told you about the little grocery store that my grandparents owned. You see where the barrel is sitting? And you see that space in there? That was the little store that they owned. It sit right there. The concrete is still there where the barrel is. This is a building that my mom remodeled, and she got a SCORE building started. It stands for Senior Citizens something. I don't know what the ORE is. But she actually, this was an old band building, and she remodeled it, and seniors go there and they eat breakfast and they go to the doctor. They have a van and everything. This was the school that I was telling you about that my grandfather gave the land for. It's no longer, they have built a new school now. All right. And this is the church. I told you the church was right down the street, and our family cemetery is right there on the side of the church. There you'll find my brother, the one that just passed. His is the black one. And all of those burial plots there are family. My grandparents, my mother, father, brothers are all there on the side of the church. Okay? And that's the Brown Cemetery right there. All right? Now we're going to see some more property. Okay. Now you see Robinson Road and Brown Road. Bring it in so you can see it. Can you see it? It's raining, so I don't know if, let me clean it off. Okay, now you can see Brown Road and Robinson Road. So we're going to turn on Robinson Road and make the circle around. This is also a part of the family estate. This property here. All right. I thought I'd do it in a video because I didn't even look to see who was on live. And I don't like to come on live when other content creators are on there because we all share the same people. Okay? My brother sold this right here before he passed away. My mother had given him that to build him a house on, and he chose not to build. He sold it instead and moved to another house. Okay? My father sold this property for this house. Okay? This is still the Brown estate, all the way to the corner. This is Highland and Robinson. Okay? Now, my grandfather sold this stretch all the way to the end right here where these houses are built before he passed away. So this does not belong to us, where you see the fence gates and the houses and stuff. All right? So this was all sold by my grandfather. All right? Now we're gonna turn on this street and go down, and you can see the other side of it. Okay, this is still sold property. That's not owned by our estate, it's sold. Okay, this is what I sold. I sold 4 acres of my property. Right here, starting with the trailers. This is what I sold. But behind the trailers is the Brown estate. All right, so this is what an acre looks like. Each one of these trailers are on an acre of land. So I sold 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 acres of my property. Okay, right after this last mobile home, we pick up again on this corner right here. Not the building over there. The building is sold. This corner here. All right. All right. So now you have pretty much seen where Ms.V grew up. This was the country that I keep telling y'all I'm a country girl. And this is the property coming from the front side of it. This is the front side of it. All that land that you see, except for where the trees are, that's where the other houses were sold. Okay? And they built a new high school out on the freeway. This is the church I grew up in, right there. Right down the street. There was no excuse. So you can see my mother's house from the church. Hey mom, hey dad, hey brothers, hey grandpa and grandma. Okay. I should have went over to the seniors building and spoke to them. And this is the house I grew up in. I hope you can see it. Okay, the little country store slab is there. Okay, that I told y'all about. N.B. Brown Grocery for my grandmother and my grandfather made their living in. And this is a house I grew up in. Okay. Yep. Had a lot of fun in that house. My nephew now lives in that home. And my brother lives right here. This is his home. He lost his wife. She's down in the cemetery I just showed you. She had cancer and she passed away. It'll be 3 years coming up this year. Okay. And these were cousins that owned this property right here, the Beckwiths. So now we're gonna go back up here and see if Mayor Brown is in his office, and you can meet my nephew that lives in my mom's home. He also lived with me for a while. He went to school in Houston. So he's my son I never had. I had the only girl. My brothers had boys, and I had the only girl, so all of them were spoiled. I didn't have boys, so I spoiled boys. And they didn't have girls, so Shantae, who comes into my chat, my niece and my daughter were the 2 girls for a long time. We now have other grandchildren and great-grandchildren that are girls. 3 of them, Caitlin, Amber, and well, it's 4 because O'Brien has a little girl too, so there are 4 girls. All right, so we're gonna go back to the mayor's office and see if I can get a little moment with my nephew to speak to y'all. This is the town that he's mayor of. He's in his 2nd term. Not exactly sure what he's gonna do after this one, whether he's gonna run again or if he's gonna go for another office. Okay, but his office is in this building. All right, and I just left another nephew, CJ, at the marshal's office, but he had to make a run, so I couldn't stop to talk to him. All right, we get ready to leave my humble beginnings now. We're getting out of the town of Richwood. The mayor was not in his office, so that's where my nephew works. He's the mayor of the town of Richwood. Okay. So right now we're gonna get on 165 bypass, and we're gonna head to Shreveport. So say goodbye to the town of Richwood. My humble beginnings. I want you to see something else too. This is the correctional center. The center has been here since I was a little girl, and it has expanded greatly. Behind those trees, those buildings, it's men and women over there. Now when they first put it here, it was misdemeanor crimes, but there's some real criminals over there now in that correctional center. Right? Moving on down the road. You're still in the town. Yep, still in the town of Richwood. And it's gonna stop right up here at this light. I think the second light. It goes to Winsboro Road. Mobile home sales on both sides, owned by different people. Louisiana Purchase Garden Zoos is to the left, to the left. That's the tractor company for the farmers. of my classmates, her and her husband pastor this church, Liberty Christian. You still in the town. So the country has expanded all the way up to meet the city of Monroe. So I guess it took, in my lifetime, it took about 50 years. Car wash, apartments. They're getting ready to build something over there. Trucking company. Highway workers. And when we get to this light, this is the end of the town of Richwood. This has been my humble beginning. Welcome to the city of Monroe. I'm going to take you by the high school that I told you I integrated. This is a city school. Where I grew up is a parish school. I told y'all I went to the school in the city because my mama taught school in the city, so I always went to city schools. I didn't never go to parish schools. Louisiana is the only state with parishes. This is Ouachita Parish. Headed to Shreveport, I-20 West. You go east, you're headed to Vicksburg, which is Mississippi. That's how close I am. I told y'all I was very close to Mississippi. I'm up in the northeast corner of the state. It's only a few little bitty towns before you out of this state where I live. I'm a long ways from New Orleans. I'm about 5 hours from New Orleans. New Orleans is down at the bottom of the boot. I'm up at the top corner of the boot. All right. I want to take you by the Civic Center. It's been here since the 60s. My brother had his funeral at the Civic Center. Well, he didn't have it, his wife did. Let me correct myself. So we're gonna drop off at the Civic Center and let you see the Civic Center. This is in Monroe still. That used to be Budweiser, but it's something else now, Servpro. Cleaning restoration service. Got to let this window up, it's too much noise. Okay, this is the Civic Center over here. And then the marshal's office is over here where my nephews work. CJ and Jay. CJ works in that part and Jay works in this part, the back part right here. Okay, so let me get over, and there it is, Monroe Civic Center. And that rotunda part of the Civic Center was where they had my brother's funeral. Okay, and here, this is a kidney clinic. Right here, one of them. Okay. And then we're gonna come down in front, on the side, I believe it's gonna be on the side of the hospital. And this is just one of the hospitals here coming up ahead of us. And it's named St. Francis. It's a Catholic hospital. And they are steady building. It started off with the little red brick building. That was the first building over there. And it went from the first little red building to the big white building. And open it up so you can see. Okay, I can't go down that way. They done closed that off and made it a one way. And they steady building. Oh, Lord. Monroe City Police Department. That's where the oldest brother used to work on his first job. He had 2 retirements. And then the marshal's office is in the front where the nephews work. Okay. Now let's see if we can go down this street. Couldn't even get up there anyway if I wanted to go to Shreveport. They got that closed off. This is St. Francis Cancer Center, part of the hospital. Let's go, mister. Come on, little mister. So this is Northeast Louisiana Cancer Institute, St. Francis Cancer Center. One of them. They have several. And that's the hospital again. Jumped on just to show you how the terrain has changed. You're in the hills now, headed towards Ruston. You're passing a little town, if you go that way, called Calhoun. This is where most of the Caucasians that left Monroe moved up into these hills, headed towards Grambling. Ruston and Grambling are 5 miles apart. Just want to show you the difference in it's flat land in Monroe. As soon as you get out of West Monroe, it becomes a little hilly. And I want to show you, Getty is back there being a good little boy. Yep, he is. He been riding with his sunshades on, ain't been bothering nobody. A lot of trucking business coming through here. Okay, I've made it to Ruston, Louisiana, and this is my alma mater, where I went to college, here in Ruston. None of this was here when I was here. I'm gonna come back down this same street so you can see the other side. This is a new building, J.C. Love Field. I don't know when it was built. You can see the old buildings back there. And then this is the football stadium over on this side. And I used to live back behind the stadium in a trailer park. When I got grown and wanted to leave the campus, and my parents said, okay, I moved into that trailer park behind the stadium. So it wasn't too far for you to walk, but them hills, climbing them hills, it was. That's why I had to convince my parents I had to have a car. It's just climbing these hills ain't that nice, okay? Right? This is the campus. Oh, wow. New building. Another one. These buildings are new to me. I don't know when they built them. All I can say is they were not here when I went here. Richardson Hall was here. The athletes and the boys lived in Richardson Hall. Tenants Promenade was not there. Okay? And they look like they're getting ready to build over there. This cafeteria was here. And this was the cafeteria I ate breakfast in. Right here up on top of this hill. F.J. Taylor was the president of the university, and they named, oh no, they've changed that to a visual arts center. That used to be the cafeteria. Oh wow. One of the cafeterias. We had 3 on campus. This old building is still here. This was South Hall, and they put all of the blacks, when I went to school here on my freshman year, they put all the blacks in this building right here. It's an old building. Air conditions in the windows, as you can see. This was South Hall. And just, okay. Yep, that's South Hall. And this is the building I was walking from the day I met Mr. Ed. Okay? This is the little kindergarten and the little school on campus where, you know, if you have children, you can bring them to the preparatory school. They call it a laboratory school. Oh God, this has changed so much. This does not even look like the same place. All of this was just like grass we used to walk on, but not anymore. Okay, I'm going on down because I don't know my way around this campus anymore. Davidson Hall was not here. The clock was there, the big clock. I don't know what this is. I have no idea. It's so big now. This is a new building. That looks like a dormitory. Pots. Yeah, both of those are new. And this was a little street right here where we used to walk up and down the street and get our little fast food. Yep. That was a street. Okay. That's Graham Hall. I lived in that hall my sophomore year. And this is Harper. They rebuilt it. It wasn't here. It was turned on the other side. And I lived in here in Pierce Hall my freshman year. This is a brand new building. It's still named Pierce, but it's a new building. Oh my God, look at that. Oh wow. Okay, I'm gonna turn down this street. I know we can't ride in front of the student center anymore because the alumni bought bricks, and the street is brick now and it's closed off, and every brick has your student name who bought the brick on the brick that they put down for the sidewalk. Oh God, I don't know if I can get through here. Does this go all the way out? No, it does not. Okay. And they steady building. We're not gonna be able to get through there because the road is closed. But this is the campus. It's quite big now compared to the way it was when I went to school here. Okay, so you've seen Louisiana Tech University, my alma mater, and I'm gonna get on to Shreveport now. This is where we used to shop, downtown Ruston. It looks the same, not much has changed. To go to the movie at the Dixie, and it seems like it's still open. Ruston, yeah, it's built up a lot, and a steady building.